Today, Alexandria City Councilman Reddix Washington told us that he would absolutely consider spending potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars or even more on utility relief for customers with high utility bills. He said that money could be from the millions that the city received from the American Rescue Plan Act last year. However, we heard tonight from Mayor Jacques Roy that all $11.29 million that the city was awarded in total has already been allocated to other needs and projects throughout the city. Specifically, the mayor said that out of the over $5 million that the city received in August of last year as part of the second installment of ARPA funds, $3 million was spent on public safety and the police department. Funds were used to purchase new vehicles and equipment for officers. The other $2 million from the second installment went back into the budget to help revenue deficit. And as for the first installment of funds totaling also more than $5 million, that money has already been used on utility capital projects and repairs.